Hello, and welcome to Account-Based Customer Success. 5 keys to integrating customer success into your account-based selling strategy. My name is Todd. I'm the CEO and co-founder of SuccessHacker, and I've spent the last 23 years of my career helping companies to improve their B2B sales, services, and customer success operations. I've worked with companies like Zenefits, Five9, Avaya, and Genesis to improve their operations and to improve the way that they sell. Today, I wanted to speak with you a little bit about how to improve your account-based selling results by integrating customer success. I think the question that's on most folks' mind is, how do you do that? How can you make your account-based selling strategy more effective simply by including customer success? Well, I want to start with a scenario, and it's probably familiar to a lot of you. You've got a big one on the line. You've been working really hard to get them closed. You know this is going to make your quarter. You're coming up on the end of the deal, and all of a sudden, you start to experience questions. Questions about, how is this going to work? How are we going to implement? Who's going to be involved? Where do I go once we sign the deal? All of these questions are exactly the reason why I believe including customer success in your account-based selling strategy is the missing ingredient. I think that you'll find, once you've integrated it, that you will reduce your sales cycles and improve your outcomes. So, what does success bring to the equation, and why do I believe this? Well, it's really simple. If you want to have your customers truly trust you, and if you want to bring in that credibility that only comes from involving folks that have been there and done that, success is absolutely the way to go. The number one thing that they bring is that experience. They give you the ability to speak to what's actually happened in the past, and they can talk to it in a way that isn't scary. So they bring you that credibility of experience that otherwise you're speaking to in generalities. They bring in the experience with customers that are just like the one that you're working to close. And with that, they have the ability to engender that confidence and that surety that they're going to actually accomplish what they set out to do and receive the value that they're expecting, because the success team has been there. They've delivered on those projects, and they can speak to all of the worry points that your customers have around, how is this going to work? How are you going to interact with my folks? What does the methodology include? What's next? What's expected of us? All of these things they have the answer to. The next thing that I think that they really bring is best practices. And best practices are incredible proof points. They bring this level of comfort and confidence to customers that you just can't value enough. Your team that's done this before and done it with customers of the same size in similar businesses or with relatively similar levels of complexity, they know what works and what doesn't. And that really, when you can discuss it at that level, gives those prospects, those soon-to-be customers, that level of comfort that otherwise they don't have. And last but not least, they can really speak to the how. So I know I've mentioned this earlier, but I don't think you can value enough that experience of what happens next and getting into, as the customers love to do, the weeds of how is this going to work. I know a lot of you out there have probably run into a customer that has someone on their staff. Perhaps it was the project manager. And during the sales cycle, they wanted to get into, what is the project plan going to look like? Who's going to be involved? What is my point of interface? What happens if I have an escalation? All of these low-level details that will slow down the process if you don't have someone available and on the team that is really focused on removing those roadblocks. With that said, what I want to do next is really focus on what I've found to be the 5 keys to integrating customer success into your account-based strategy. Now, I've derived these over the years from talking with various sales leaders and vice presidents of sales, particularly around their concerns about moving success's involvement further up the chain. The first one that I want to address, and it's perhaps the most critical, is the concern about getting everyone on the same page. This one is extremely important. In order for success to truly be effective and be part of the team, everyone has to be on the same page. So the way to do that is integrate success into your selling strategy and process. I know you've spent a tremendous amount of time developing a really robust customer buying process and really looking at your sales strategy and refining your sales process based on that strategy. Including success is just bringing one more skill set to the table. In essence, by integrating them deeply, what you'll find is any concerns about them being a sales preventer is absolutely taken off the table, because they get involved and they get excited about the prospect of landing these large deals. And they really want to work really hard to get this deal across the line. The way that you do that is by plugging them into all the various facets of the selling process, giving them actions, giving them a true stake in the actual process of landing this new customer. The second one that I wanted to address is creating the team. So by expanding your team, you're given the ability to create your dream team. And you do this by building a team that covers all of the bases. So as you look at the various past sales experiences that you've had with large customers, you can really start to see where there are opportunities to plug in the key members of the team that are going to now be available to you. You can begin to plug in not just the head of success, but also the CSM that's going to take over after handoff, as well as the onboarding rep that's going to be responsible for getting them implemented. If your solution is training heavy, you can also bring in the head of training to speak to the types of customer education that you're going to deliver. So this is really an opportunity for you to add to your team the skills that will give the customer confidence that you truly know what you're doing, so that that doesn't become one of the challenges that you have to overcome during the sales process. Third, and perhaps one of the most important, is the choreography of the sell. You want to make sure that everybody knows the right thing to do, the right time to do it, and that they do it every time. And the way to do that is to really look at how you engage with your customers, as well as how you engage with your internal resources. So one of the key things as you look to integrate customer success into your account-based selling practice is to really build an engagement model that lays out all the various steps involved in the selling process and beyond, and really clarifies the roles and responsibilities around that, as well as the timing, so that everybody's clear and you're operating like a machine, not like a bad dance number. The fourth key is communication. I know that in talking to a number of sales leaders, there was always this concern about saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. So number 4 is about making sure that the right person is talking and that the right people are listening. And the way that you do that is you align your messaging and you align those responsible for delivering that messaging with a communication plan. Now, this isn't to say that every communication needs to be planned out, but the key ones need to be laid out, and the team needs to understand who is responsible for conveying that message. And it's not just the ones that are part of the selling process, but also ones that come about because of challenges. So by making sure that the entire team understands who's responsible for answering those critical questions, you really give the customer a seamless single team feel. And last but not least, you have to plan for success. Success in selling doesn't happen by accident. In order to be truly successful, you need to work with success to expand their success plans to include the pre-sales elements so that you align around joint goals and that those joint goals carry throughout the customer life cycle. If you can do this, then you have the ability to not just use these internally, but also convey these to the customers and demonstrate to them, here are the things that we've heard are important to you. These are the jobs that you hired us to do. This is your definition of success. Here is how we're going to deliver that and how we're going to measure that we are delivering it. And we're going to do that with you so that you have a level of transparency that you probably haven't experienced before. In closing, I just want to say that these are the 5 keys. You need to integrate success, leveraging these keys if you want to increase your ability to land the whales. By leveraging success, you bring credibility, experience, best practices, and the how into your selling strategy. And that truly differentiates you. Nail these 5 keys and you're going to be off to a great start with account-based customer success. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Again, my name is Todd from SuccessHacker. If you have any follow-on questions, please join us in Outcomes, our customer success community at customersuccess.community. We'll be discussing account-based customer success, and we'll be providing templates and guidance to help you to integrate customer success into your selling plan. You can also check out SuccessHacker at successhacker.co. Again, thank you for spending some time with me. I hope you enjoyed it and you got out of it as much as I enjoyed putting into it. And again, if you have any questions, check out Outcomes and look for your answers there. Thank you.